You guys want to know about the quarterback, maybe? That's the first question up. Had a good week of preparation. Obviously when you're preparing for a team like Georgia Tech, your practice looks a little bit different in terms of not going against your defense during the week, which we're used to. We're used to articulating with our defense, so it's a little bit of a different week in that respect. But we've installed our defensive plan. We've drilled that down to a level of comfort where we are today, and we'll have one more walkthrough tomorrow, and then we'll go defend a very explosive offense. We'll have to play very well in special teams. We think that's very important, certainly in the sense that field position is crucial in this game. I think they're talking about some heavy winds, so field position will definitely be part of the game as well. We spent a lot of time on special teams this week. And then offensively, in terms of what we do offensively, we've got to put points on the board. There's no question about that. You're not going to keep this offense from scoring. Making sure that our possessions are, ones that either get us in really good field position or result in scores. So, that means being very, very efficient on offense. So, all those things mean we don't have big margins for error in any one of those three areas. So guys had to be locked in. The challenge this week was to be a smarter football team. We'll have to be a smarter football team, a more efficient football team, and then just a great will to win. We got to bring that as well. Sometimes when you're blocked, you got to get off blocks. Sometimes when you're covered, you got to get uncovered. And that element to football is about want and desire and a will to win, and our guys are at home, and it's a place they enjoy playing, and we expect to play very, very well against a really good team in Georgia Tech. So that's what I know. What else would you like to hear? Questions?
On Tuesday, you touched on if there was anything that you could do differently as a coach to kind of deal with the injury rash that you guys have experienced over the last couple of years even. I was wondering if one of the things that you might look at as a coach is there anything different that you and Paul could do to prevent the type of leg injuries that you guys have seen? Because even dating back for a couple of seasons here, it seems like you guys have had quite the experiences with ACLs and things of that nature.
Yeah, no, we've looked at every injury carefully, and there's really nothing that anybody that has looked at it from a team surgeon, nationally, inside the program, out. Our key injuries have been, Joe Schmidt was a fractured ankle, very similar to what we're experiencing with Deshaun last year. Of course, Deshaun Malik, obviously. So, we've had an ACL where, I've watched the film 15 times and didn't see anything. Yeah, we look at those things carefully. But I really think Paul does a great job and his staff with our strength training and conditioning program. We're in great shape physically, and there's nothing that I would change there.
Ryan, when it comes to short yardage and your quarterbacks, you've probably shifted philosophies over the years. What's your philosophy when it comes to shotgun versus under center, and does Sean being a bigger quarterback change that?
It could. I mean, I think there's times where direct snap can be effective in short yardage. You have to complement that certainly with your passing game as well. But I've never been against going into direct snap if I think it can make our offense more effective. With the way that we're running the football, I think that last week. I think we probably would have been more effective just, being a little bit more versatile in the running game, more so than whether we were a direct snap versus shotgun. But having said that, I like taller quarterbacks for direct snap, no question. And if it can complement the offense, I don't see why that wouldn't be part of what you do.
Who is Justin Thomas for you this week in practice?
Well, we had a couple of guys that were trying to be Justin Thomas, but you can't really simulate it. You know, Justin Thomas is an interesting player. Where the way Coach has his offense set, you really can't get a hit on him. It's very difficult. They protect him. They take him out in goal line to make certain that he doesn't get hit in those situations. And where he obviously is the most creative is that when you don't assign or they block somebody that has quarterback, obviously he's got, you know, elite speed. So we don't have anybody other than the quarterbacks that are on our scout team. So we can't duplicate that. What we were able to duplicate is, you know, making sure that we have somebody overlapping the quarterback if in fact we don't get through to the quarterback on our initial assignments. So, but he's a very difficult guy to get hits on. So if somebody said, hey, you know, why aren't you hitting the quarter? It's difficult to get hits on him the way their offense is designed.
Brent, I asked you earlier in the week about Coach Van Gorder, the variations in his defense and alignments and Smallman. Does that apply this week? Do you want to give their offense different looks, or would you rather hone in on what you're doing and line up?
I think a little bit of both. Anytime that you can give the quarterback, and it's the same thing with us, Tim, is if you can change up the read key for the quarterback post-snap, you know, after the ball comes out or after you put your hands underneath center, if you can change up the read key, that's a good thing. But it requires you to have different and moving responsibilities. So it's like you said, I mean, is it better to be in one defense and get that down, or do you want to move around and then, you know, there's a chance that maybe you're not as strong as you need to be assignment-wise? I think you have to do both, but I think the first and foremost is you have to have a base, and you have to operate out of that base.
Brian, I talked to Sean even way back in high school, and I'll never forget, he told me he planned on putting trophies in the cases here at Notre Dame, which was great to hear that from high school kid having that kind of confidence. But how do you keep him from maybe falling into that, what you kind of experienced with Malik, where he was maybe trying to do too much and trying to help win games and kind of just focus on, here's my job, and if I do it right, we'll be fine?
I think that's, you know, a good question in the sense that we want to make sure that he understands that, you know, he's got a lot of good players around him, and he's not coming in here to be, you know, Malik. You know, he needs to just be who he is, and we'll take advantage of what his skills are. But recognize the fact that, you know, he's got a really good supporting cast around him. And he doesn't have to come in here and save the day, you know. Be a solid supporting member of the other 10 guys on this team, and we'll be good on offense. We'll be really good. And so I think it's just tempering that he doesn't have to come in here and put everybody on his shoulders and say, all right, you know, I'm going to save the day for Notre Dame, you know, when Malik goes down. And so just reminding him of, look, we got a system here in place, and just do exactly what we asked you to do, and you're going to be fine.
What kind of week do the secondary have? Do they have the kind of week that Holt and Redfield getting more comfortable with that cast?
Eric, it's such a different week in terms of what they're doing back there. I really couldn't. It's so hard to give you, all right, are they more aggressive, or are they playing with more confidence? They're doing different things to defend the option. You know, Max is doing different things. You know, they're all going to play a role in our success, and they're all going to have to tackle well, and they're all going to have to be so locked in on their keys. So the answer to that question will not be evident until Saturday around 7 o'clock, unfortunately.
How about the second line of tight ends with out?
Yeah. So Alizé, Nick, Chase, and Tyler all got work this week. All of them will get on the field in different situations. We think we got a good feel for who are the guys that we want in there in certain situations, but I feel all of them can be parts of the solution for us.
We were kind of curious on Tuesday what you were going to see from Brandon now that he's not getting the rest of the other practice.
Mm-hmm.
His mentality, I mean, what you see just sort of trying to read his face and
He's very, very talented, and he's also very nervous. So we just got to calm him down a little bit. You know, you could just see that he knows, holy crap, I am going to play. They really mean it. Thought they were kidding. But he's just a really exceptional athlete. He can run, he can throw. But we'll just have to calm him down. He's going to have some jitters, but I think once he gets in the flow of things and really just, he could do some really, really extraordinary things. Can throw the football a mile, and he's really athletically can run. And it was fun to watch him. Now, you know, we just got to get him settled into the game and got to let it just kind of come to him a little bit and let him calm down a little bit.
Deshaun was sort of recounting the improvement and how in some ways he recruited you guys in addition to you recruiting him. Do you remember much about sort of that process about evaluating who we want to offer, who we not want to offer? Is it something that was a no-brainer for you to pull the trigger?
Well, I remember it, you know, pretty clearly. You know, there was some talk that, you know, he was too much of a pro-style quarterback, and I didn't believe he was. You know, Coach Martin was on the staff at the time, but I just liked his makeup too much. So he was somebody that I wanted on the team.
Brian, when you were at Cincinnati, time of possession, I think the last year you were there, you were dead last and didn't apologize for it.
Right.
Since you've been at Notre Dame, the patterns changed a little bit. Has some of that been personnel you've used? Has some of it been these games against option teams that have made you look different, or has it just kind of happened without you really putting a lot of thought into it?
Well, I think there were a couple of factors. One, we were trying to sell a lot of tickets at Cincinnati, and we wanted to be exciting on offense, and we were trying to score a lot of points, and so I really didn't think much about that end of things. So we were going to score points and then kind of figure out what we were doing on the other end of it. And if that you know, if that meant outscoring opponents, we would. Now, here is a whole different animal. Is that, you know, you're playing teams that you can't go into games that way. I mean, you have to manage the games, you have to play good defense, you have to win close scoring games, things of that nature. So there was a little bit of that at Cincinnati, and then when our defense, you know, we had one really good year where our defense was really stout, and we played more the game to complement our defense. But my last year there, we were young on defense, and with Bob Diaco as our defensive coordinator, we made a decision that we were just, let's just score as many times as we could.
Anything else? Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks.